hope he makes the best decision for him,
Yeah.
for his family, and you hate to see it because he's young.
Exactly. I mean,
It's not like he's in the last
yeah, he's
part
in
of
the twilight of his career. He's still in it.
twilight of his career that if this happens, then he's coming out by next week saying I'm retired.
Yeah.
With that, I also understand as athletes, you're competitive.
Yep.
And you also, as a lot of pro athletes will tell you, and you've heard it from many, is I want to leave on my own terms. Welcome to the Banter. I'm Dave. It's Hobbsy. Hobbsy, man, it's been a little bit, but since the last time we did a show, I have one question for you.
Oh, all right.
Seen anybody eating dogs and cats around your area?
No, no one's been too hungry.
Well, I was just curious because, rumors are we got, people, immigrants, out there eating people's dogs and cats and whatnot. So just want to make sure that you still have your dogs and your cats, man.
I can confirm that the dogs are good.
Yeah.
The wildlife and animals of all nature around here seem to be all doing rather well. I have not seen any of the immigrants, Haitian, Mexican,
Venezuelan.
Venezuelan. I haven't seen MS-13. I haven't seen the Bloods or Crips. I haven't seen anything that has led me to believe that we're going to go downhill anytime soon. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what according to America right now, that's the way we're heading.
Well, yeah, of course.
Apparently one side thinks people are eating cats and dogs. People will argue it. Other side is like, what the hell are you talking about? I mean, to be honest with you, the closest I ever got to was some Chinese food.
Yeah, I've had some stuff in the Chinese food that's made me question what I might eat. I was more leading it might be like peacock or something, but
well, they always joke around how Chinese restaurants, they always serving up the alley cats and the alley dogs. So, but just rumors, people, just jokes.
Calm down, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
But man, football season has started.
yes.
And to start the football season, social media ran rapid with a former football player clapping cheeks.
Boy, was he. His Michelle.
As Shannon Sharp, as better known as Unk, accidentally went IG Live and was sitting there groaning, doing some mating, as we will say, and yeah, it went pretty viral.
Yeah, he was sounded like he was doing the Lord's work. And then I like how he kind of denied it but didn't deny it.
But
because
I love
he knows
the fact that he came out and he said, oh, I was hacked.
Yeah.
Then I got to give it to him. Then he went on his talk show. He went on his podcast, Club Shay Shay.
Yep.
With old Chad Ochocinco, and he admitted to it. He's like, "Yeah, that's me. I was in there clapping the cheeks, and I was doing nothing but being a healthy, male who likes to partake in the sexual activities."
Yeah, I mean, Hall of Fame tight end doing Hall of Fame tight end stuff.
But I don't know if you've seen it, and you know, there's someone that hopped on the IG live, and he is a godsend.
Oh yeah.
Let's just say Ron Killings, aka R Truth from the
Oh,
WWE,
I have not seen that, but
was on the live,
I need to.
and he was commenting as this was going on, and I'm more than happy to send it to you. And some of the comments that he had made, he said, "Up, grunting like a ogre." Uh, he said he giving her that hot tuh.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Are they fucking? Excuse my French." He goes. Then he replies, "Yo, Unc, that's not PG." Uh, he told him to hang up his phone, and then he goes, "Oh shit," she said, "Please."
Oh my God, that's great.
And then he said, "Oh damn, this gon' go viral." Then the best one, I think, is the very last one he put is, "They both out of breath now."
I love it. Oh shit, I love it.
Now of course, I saw it on TikTok, and then someone said, "Hey, go to Twitter."
Oh
And of
boy.
course, I went over to Twitter X, and uh, all you had to do was, search it, and up it came. But I heard when R Truth was legitly in there, and he was seriously making those comments,
Oh boy.
and so you know that is how we start off the football season.
Yes, they need to protect our truth
R
at all
Truth,
costs. He needs to never ever be gone.
no, no. The fact that he was in there, and then of course, let's see. Of course, Chad Ochocinco got in some jokes. He told Shannon Sharp that he needs to start working on his cardio, and he can't just be just lifting weights. He got to hit the cardio because he can't be that out of breath about 5 minutes in.
Uh,
Uh, well, I guess Cat Williams sent him a text message saying, "I guess you ain't gay now, huh?" Because all the questions been Shannon Sharp are gay.
yeah,
Uh, you know, uh, let's see, the comedian Lavelle Crawford, was it Lavelle Crawford? Lavelle Crawford got in, he was on the show, and of course he had some jokes for Shannon.
I
So
love it.
I gotta give it to him, man. He's owned up to it. He's taking it like a champ, and he's taking the jokes like a champ. And man, some of the jokes that are coming out are pretty hilarious.
My question is how do you I mean, to go live on Instagram is pretty complicated. Not really, but you know what I mean? There's some steps involved there.
Yeah.
And
Like
to just
there's more than just accidentally hitting
yeah.
IG live and it pops up.
And
Like,
old Unc's on there. It seems to be in like mid season form, should we say,
yeah,
working
yeah.
hard. And I'm like, did old Unc just decide that, hey, I'm just gonna drop this on here and let everybody hear me work?
Well, I have to say it gives me hope. It,
Right?
it, it gives me hope as I get older that sexual energy
It's still
will
there.
still be going strong at
Yes,
like
sir.
in my mid 50s, close to being 60. I don't know. Shannon Sharp's close to 60 now, I'd imagine. So, uh, I guess the jokes were that Viagra, already sent him a sponsorship.
Of course.
Hey, I'm not mad at him. You,
Hell no. He's
we,
good.
you know, it's not like it's secrets, people. Like, you know, healthy males, females like to partake in a little, you know, bang bang, a little, hippity hoot ha, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
You know,
You know,
it does
a
happen.
little, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Extracurricular
Enjoy,
activity.
enjoying. Let's see, the pleasure of company of someone.
Yeah.
Whether her name be Michelle or anything else.
Right.
But hey, man,
But dude's
it,
over there doing the Lord's work.
yeah, that's all he's doing. He's a single male, uh, in shape, 50-something year old, and just doing the do.
He's out here doing the Lord's work.
That's it. You know, like I said, gives me hope.
Right. Saying there's a chance.
But man, other than that, like I said, opening game. Let's see, Chiefs. Uh, pulled it out. You
Oh yeah.
know, by a toe. You
Man, I mean,
know,
if you that game was crazy because if you really, I mean, and I'm not just saying this because of being a Chiefs fan, but if you look at that whole game, like the opportunities that the Chiefs missed where they shot themselves in the foot.
yeah,
I mean, if we're being honest, the Chiefs could have won that game by 17
yeah,
because
easy.
Lamar was solid, but the line their line is not good.
No,
You know, Isaiah Likely was great, but Pacheco wide open drops that ball for an easy walk-in touchdown. Juju drops that ball that maybe puts them right there on the goal line for a first or a touchdown.
yeah,
That's a tough catch to make anyway, Juju's, but Pacheco
yeah,
just running back coming out of that route. And then, you got that, then we get the fumble from Lamar. Mahomes throws a stupid pick, right on the 50, 40-yard line there, which hurts us. Could have got some points out of that. So, I'm trying to look at both those. I'm thinking you get 7-7 on the Juju, maybe on the next play, and then Pacheco's in easy because there's no one in front of him. Just, the end zone. And then that Mahomes pick, we move the ball there. There's another 3 points, and then that toe is not even a thing. And then again, Lamar does Lamar things, man. Like great running back. I mean, quarterback. I mean, I get it. NFL MVP a couple times now. The dude's a freak, but you know, to miss some of the missed opportunities he created on himself with missed throws. I mean,
I mean, he
you want to win a
missed,
game, don't miss the don't miss wide open guys in the end zone twice before that.
and not even twice, for it was a play before that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
and I'm talking about the guy had no one around him for
no,
5 yards,
Zay Flowers was just chilling. Like
just
that's an
hanging
easy.
out.
Yeah, they're going to go for two. They're probably going to get it, but again, if Likely catches that and ties it, and they do go for two, you're only going two routes there. Probably you're either going option A, Lamar, option B, Derrick Henry, and who's to say
Yeah,
they get in there because the entire everybody in the stadium, the Chiefs, and everybody else know that was coming. So yeah, they might win it there, or you never know. Maybe they tie it and it goes to
yeah.
OT. So
But man, I tell you what, I thought like defense. I guess with me, the defense looked they looked tired at the end of the game.
yeah, they were gassed. I
Uh,
mean, you could tell.
they were gassed, but part of that comes in with it's like they said, you know, Andy, he doesn't like to waste a lot of his starters and stuff during, camp,
Yeah,
and during the preseason games, and he lets them rest, so they're not really have those game time reps,
right. And then
and stuff like that. So
when you got
it,
Chris Jones, at coming in at will in the first half, and then the second half, the dude's literally lining up anywhere on the line he wants to find his best matchup.
yeah,
And then I mean, he's tired there at the end. They're huffing, which they was. I mean, and I understand they should be.
Yeah.
And it's, as as they round into form, I think the positives for me is, that being the first game of the season, they held a very, very dangerous, what, most NFL people consider the best team in the AFC talent wise.
Yeah.
They held them to, 20 something, and it was barely that.
Yeah.
And Mahomes, other than the one bonehead pick, the first NFL week one, if you looked at some of the quarterback play, Mahomes, Tua, and
Horrible.
yeah, I think Mahomes, Tua, and Stafford literally were the only three that threw like for 250 plus. Mayfield lit it up with the four tutties, but
Yeah.
other than that, like around the board, Jaden Daniels did what Jaden Daniels is going to do, obviously, and run for some. But across the board, everybody looked like dog shit.
Yeah, it wasn't
So
uh and to me it's week one.
yeah, of course.
A lot of people put too much into week one. Unfortunately, it's not like college football where even week one means a lot.
Yeah,
Uh Going into stuff which, it's college football's already started off wild.
it's crazy.
Uh um
The collapse of the Florida State Seminoles,
in front of our eyes.
the absolute
I,
collapse of the Florida State.
I mean, well, and I'm not. You look at who's hanging around
Hmm?
with teams. I mean, God forbid, the Fighting Irish.
Yeah,
Northern Illinois. They took a loss, but they are decide that okay, we took that. Now we're going to just piss pound Purdue right now.
yeah,
So it's like they like okay, we can't go out like that.
right, yeah,
Um, you know, shit. I say it. My Jayhawks lost two. Two games they should have won. They're 1-2 where they should easily be 3-0.
yeah, for
But
sure.
I mean, but you got the people don't realize these FBS schools.
They're scrappy shit.
They're tough.
Look back over the years at some, your Fresno States and your Boise States, and what's them,
Appalachian
South,
State over
yeah,
Michigan.
South Dakota State.
Hey, Appalachian State over Michigan.
Oh yeah, Armani Edwards, eh?
Boy, I'm saying it's like it's crazy.
You know,
It's crazy,
them
and
boys,
it's
them
like
boys
I
compete, man.
watched some of it, but Florida State, man, that's just
It's crazy.
it amazes me. It true. It You see the collapse of Florida State. We're slowly seeing Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers. Slowly,
Yep, that's running out.
that's getting the same way. Um, from what I saw, man, it's SEC is going to be the SEC.
Yep.
Uh, Big Ten, Michigan's they're going to have a rough year,
Yep.
but you know I'm kind of seeing what Oregon will bring to the Big Ten.
Yep.
Kind of anxious to see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else who went over to USC.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
It's yeah, yeah.
I mean, then you have let's see, Notre Dame took Al right off the bat.
Yep.
It's college football is I love it, but I hate it. I'm excited to see how this new playoff system works.
Mm-hmm.
Because now instead of being the four, who's going to be that last?
Yeah, who's the last person that gets in?
Who's the last person gets in?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So, but man, what like Detroit? How they look to you?
They're the same. Nothing's changed there. The defense is still tough against the run. They'll put some pressure on you. Aiden Hutchinson is going to get in there. The secondary still, a question mark. It's hard to gauge how the secondary will do. When you're going, against a healthy Cooper Kupp and Matty Stafford.
Yeah.
That's as good a combination as anybody. So you got that going on. So it's hard to kind of see there on offense. They look, as good as always. I mean, Montgomery's always, I know everybody's ready for the Gibbs train to take over, but as long as Dave Montgomery's got that north and south and getting them hard yards, he's going to be a big part of that. Everyone in the world, they didn't know Jameson Williams from Alabama, got introduced to J-Mo and what he brings to the table Sunday night. I'm glad everyone finally got to see his little, I guess you could say, you kind of saw peaks last year, but his true unveiling, I feel like, came Sunday. So,
Well,
letting Josh Reynolds and all him go, and really making J-Mo the true number 2 receiver. We're saying when you have that, and if he becomes that reliable target, takes a little pressure off St. Brown, and when St. Brown gets going, like, he can take over a game. So, you got kind of a little thunder and lightning.
yeah.
St. Brown makes the tough catch, and it's hard to take down for a little guy. He's just a hard fighter, hard runner, and then you got J-Mo that can take the top off the freaking defense. So then that running backs, man, and then you can't, that line, dude. When you're running about 4 all pros and your 5th guy could be one too, you get behind Penei Sewell and you just let him smack people in the mouth and do your thing, or Ragnu, and just I think they're as good as anybody in the NFC right now. I think Eagles with Saquon, if that whole team stays healthy,
He
and
looked good.
Sirianni and Jalen Hurts can stay off each other's ass a little bit. If Jalen's
Saquon
actually,
looked good.
oh yeah, and if Jalen's actually healthy, that's I mean, as far as playmakers go, that's as dangerous a team as you can put together in the NFC
Well,
side.
the Lions have a tough test with the Bucks this
Oh yeah,
coming week.
shootout,
Uh,
shootout
Baker,
on the way.
I think we're finally starting to see what Baker Mayfield should have been all along,
Yeah, I mean, it's
and I'm happy for him.
yeah, and look at the. I mean, I'm not a. I didn't love Baker Mayfield when he was young, and I think Baker Mayfield would probably tell you Baker Mayfield didn't love Baker Mayfield looking back when he was
Yeah,
young. Uh, Now that he's had, he's kind of the poster of a late bloomer. Like, the
yeah,
talent's, I think the talent's always been there, and the arm's been there. He's one of those guys that was easy just to say, man, fuck that guy, he sucks, or the attitude alone is just like, dude, your mouth and your actions right, checks your ass can't check, or
yeah,
and what you're saying now,
yeah,
now you put him in the right system with the right team and the right playmakers, and he seems to be settled in, and it's not like the Browns thing where you just never knew what the hell they were going to do with him, and the Browns are always unsettled, and I mean no one ever knows what they're doing there. Sorry, Big Mike,
yeah.
he knows, but it's just one of them things where I think I'm right there with you. I think Baker's going to have a year, and I'm looking forward to that because I mean I think that's a good shootout game in the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
Was a good shootout game. Detroit got up big early. Tampa Bay said, we ain't going down like that. Came out firing, ended up losing by I think either a field goal or a touchdown. But the shootout last year, I think you're going to see the same thing this year. It's probably a turnover game there. If
yeah,
Golf doesn't throw a pick, they'll be all right. If Baker stays consistent, doesn't make any mistakes, they'll be all right. It's going to be a tough one because Tampa Bay's got a good run defense. It's just a good matchup. I mean, but you can see a lot of. I'm hoping week 2 they got week 1 under both teams. I mean, a couple big wins. I'm kind of hoping week 2 we see. I mean, win or lose for the Lions, I kind of hope we see a shootout. I'm ready for a. I mean, I know it's only week 2, but I'm ready for a 42-35. Everybody fucking scores
oh yeah.
everywhere game already. Like, I need one.
I know it's week 1. It's hard to tell, but I think you already kind of see how it's going to play out. Who's going to be good,
Yeah.
who's not going to be good.
Yeah, to me, it seems there's not a lot of surprises so far. I mean, how the year plays off, we'll see it. But I know, like, from what I've seen of the Bills, Josh Allen is a dude, and they're going to win differently, and it's already obvious with James Cook and how they're doing things with the no-name receiver crew. Really, that they're going to win in different ways, but they've got some guys that have been on that defense that are really just now starting to start like full time.
Yeah.
That they're scrappy. I think the Bills are going to be in there. I mean, but
Well,
what's new? I think the Bills will be there. The Ravens are still the Ravens. You can't take away the Chiefs. The Chiefs game. You start off with a Clash of the Titans like that. The Ravens are still the Ravens. At the end of the year, the Ravens are still going to be sitting there with maybe 3-4 losses tops, I'd imagine.
yeah.
The Chiefs, if you didn't already know, I feel like this Bengals game, I really do.
A lot of shit talking.
Yeah, and I feel like the Chiefs. I feel like we're hanging on. It's like a lot, like you've heard. The Bengals are hanging on to something that's so far gone from what reality is now. Like, okay, you kept them from going to the Super Bowl one year. They proceeded to win a couple since then. Send you home, and yet somehow, it's never ending. Jamar Chase's nonsense. But
No.
I think the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. I still think heavy
Hey.
lies the crown, and to be the man, you got to beat the man, and not in the regular season. I don't. When you look at the Chiefs at the end of the year when the playoffs start, I kind of feel like that's when their season starts. So if you beat them in that, then it matters. If
Yeah.
you beat them in the regular season, you really don't have anything to hold your hat on.
Well, and what about Xavier Worthy?
Oh, dude,
That boy's fast.
yeah, and not bad for a guy who can just run straight forward. Per Cam Taylor Brett, if I could run that fast straight forward, I wouldn't have to do anything else either. You just run straight forward because that's all you got to do.
That boy.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah,
there's Tyreek fast.
Mm-hmm.
He just had another level.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He ran right by, on that sweep. He ran right by everybody. Like everybody else, that literally looked like something in a movie. As you watched him, like once he got turned and straight forward, when he came around the tackle there, it literally was like this now looks literally like a video game or a slow-mo in a movie, and he's like the Flash or something running by everybody.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what he looked like.
Yeah, and then on that blown coverage, like it's bad enough, their cornerback blew the coverage, but once that dude, like there was nobody within 5 yards of him, and he really, I mean, no one. It doesn't matter where that corner's at. Once he got a step, it was gone. It was over.
Yeah.
So it's like he's a dangerous addition to that team.
I think, and I was talking to somebody. I think the Kansas City's still missing maybe one more defensive lineman.
Yep.
Someone has to bring pressure. Chris Jones, Karlaftis does a great job, but it's like there's still someone else you need.
I think once you get back, Owamhu or however you say his last name, when he gets back from the knee, like in the cold time, like mid-season, he was solid last year. He's proven he can get to it, and if that K-State kid from last year, the first-round pick, can develop, everyone, all the coaches are saying they like what they see. The players are saying they like what they see.
Yeah.
If he can figure it out a little bit, I mean, he ain't even got to be great. He's just got to get a little pressure in there.
That's it.
If he can get some pressure in there, they're going to be as hard to beat as anybody. And and that's with Hollywood Brown on offense not even being there now until
that's what I said
for a month or two or however long he's going to be gone.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Is they ended up losing Hollywood Brown for a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's why they have the receiving room that they have.
Yeah. I mean,
anybody's going to step up. I mean, as you could tell, Kelsey didn't have a great game.
No.
And regardless of what people say, it's like that's the crazy part is he didn't have a great game, and good luck. I mean, look what happened.
Exactly.
Just imagine if we caught 3 or 4 more passes.
And what's great about that is Kelsey is complete, and you can see it in him. He is completely content, understanding that, he's done so much over the years and talent wise that defenses will still focus and completely draw game plans up to stop him
Yep.
and leave everybody else to be, man on coverage or
Yeah.
or let somebody sneak through, slip through the cracks because they're focused on
Yeah.
Kelsey. The way he draws in safeties and linebackers, and the best part is he might not all you with 6 catches and 180 yards, but it's just like it was just like Thursday. 3 catches, 2 of them were Mahomes scrambling around with nowhere to go with the ball. Possible loss of a down, possible huge loss of yards, and all of a sudden, what happens? Mahomes scrambles this way. Somehow Kelsey breaks free because he already knows what's going on, and boom, 25-yarder, 20-yard, whatever it was, boom. Only Kelsey reads that and catches that. Later on in the
Yeah.
game, Mahomes kind of gets in a pinch, needs a catch. Where's he go? Kind of scrambles through there. Kelsey reads him, boom, catch. And if that's all he's got to do, great. And you know how it is. He's still going to have games where where he goes nuts. Like, we might not see 13 catch, 150-yard Kelsey anymore, and that's okay. I'll take 7 catch, 40-yard, 3 tutty Kelsey any day of the week.
Yeah.
And now with Pacheco, and then I still think, we haven't seen it yet, but I still think the Samaje Perine backup, running back thing is huge as a 2-back. Why Clyde Edwards deals with the stuff. I feel like, out of the backfield, Perine can catch the ball. What
Hey,
Juju brings to the table,
Rashee Rice.
exactly where I'm going with that. What Juju brings to the table as far as like that veteran leadership and running the ball hard when it's in his hands, is very. Rashee Rice kind of reminds me of like first and second year Juju a lot. And it's like, same, not so tall, but big body guys, physical receivers that can get down the field with ball, it's more once the ball's in their hands, what they can do with it, as opposed to, making, oh my God, catches and, going up and winning 50-50 balls, which is awesome. And, so I love seeing that, Rashee Rice, it looks like they picked up exactly where they left off last year. Those little,
Yeah.
as soon as they draw him in, beat him, catch him like already and go and stuff. That's a, and they all play that too deep shit. When Rashi, when they do come up and Rashi can sneak behind them, it makes them dangerous, man. They're pretty fucking
Well,
solid.
I do, man. I tell you what, I do have a question come football about football.
So,
It's two or done. It's two or done. As we all seen the hit.
as a
It wasn't really a, how would I say, like, he really, to me, he really wasn't hit.
no, it wasn't like a
It
violent
was
hit. Yeah,
a football play.
it was a
Don't,
normal
it
football
wasn't
play.
intentional.
Yeah,
But with concussions, the concussion now he has, and what he's been through already with concussions in his playing days.
the concussions Tua has had, like
Should it
Tua's
be done?
had the 3 concussions that we've seen of Tua's. All of them have been like extremely like uncomfortable to see. Like, not so much the hits or stuff, but like, the wobbling back and, damn near, and falling over to a knee, the original one. And then the next one where he looked like when they showed him right after the play and his hands went like stoned and he looked like he was like a zombie. And then even Thursday night, when you saw it, you could tell, like, once he got hit, like once he got to the ground, like that hand came up, and and that's when you could tell, like, the lights were on, but nobody was home there. And the severity of his concussions have been, pretty bad. So,
Yeah.
for me, it's, I don't, I mean, it kind of plays into, because I don't agree with a lot of people when they say they're just athletes. They shouldn't get paid that much money. I mean, they're doing, of the gazillion people on Earth, only, however many, 400 and some, 500 and some, I don't know, get to
Yeah.
play professional sports like professional football. Or it's probably a bigger number than that, but you know where I'm getting with this.
Well, you
But
got me getting dizzy over here at your
sorry,
phone.
but you get you think of, you know, he's going to get 45 mil for sure,
Yeah.
regardless. If if and I know there's like a stipulation in his big new guaranteed contract that if he's forced to retire, I think he gets all of the money.
Uh huh.
If he chooses to retire, he doesn't get any of the money. Or there's like some paperwork like to what he'll
Yeah.
actually get. So my first thing is if you already have $45 million that's guaranteed to you that you're going to get paid irregardless of your new contract that you just
Yeah.
signed, you know, I don't know a whole lot of families that can't live on $45 million even after taxes.
Uh huh.
I think you should be doing all right with yourself. I think Tua would be a wonderful coach, and I think if Tua's got a family at home with some little ones and stuff, I think that I would much rather be a dad and be able to function and not end up looking like a fucking vegetable, pardon my French,
I
than
as a as a I mean, not saying a Dolphins fan, but as a fan of just football in general,
yeah,
you hate to see something like that.
yeah, it's horrible.
I mean, you got 200 on average, 200. You say 60-pound guys.
Yeah,
I mean, and cooking. These guys aren't just big and slow. I mean, these guys are running
yeah, like
and
alpha male athletes.
that can take that will hurt you. I mean,
Absolutely.
just hit you hard enough to where any normal person you're gonna feel it for a good few days.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. You're gonna.
You know, stuff like that. And um I hope he makes the best decision for him,
Yeah.
for his family.
Mm-hmm.
And you hate to see it because he's young.
Exactly. I mean,
It's not like he's in the last
yeah, he's
part
in the
of his
twilight of his career. He's still in it.
trial out of his career that if this happens, then he's coming out by next week saying I'm retired.
Yeah.
Uh, with that, I also understand as athletes, you're competitive,
Yep.
and you also, as a lot of pro athletes will tell you, and you've heard it from many, is I want to leave on my own terms.
Yeah. Exactly. Which I understand too.
And I understand that. And you never want, it sucks to see how many professional athletes throughout our time
Mm-hmm.
growing up had to walk away from the game or chose to walk away from the game or had to walk away from the game due to injuries.
Yeah. It's terrible.
It's one of those things, good young athlete, you know, great. I mean, just seems to be like a great person off the field
Yeah.
and everything he does.
Seems to be, big team guy. You could
Yeah,
tell. You could
yeah,
tell just the concern by all of the Dolphins players, like that.
yeah,
You can tell that he's loved there. They respect him, and
yeah,
with concussions, you, my that's my big thing is I want him to do what's best for his family,
uh
and
huh,
the I think why I worry more with Tua than a lot of the players is they're the what's the word I'm looking for? They're becoming a pretty common
yeah,
thing with him, and the
yeah,
fact that he's not getting like kind of just like a flash knockout, like he's getting like severe concussions, like full blown boxer
yeah.
concussions.
It's not.
Yeah, he's getting his shit knocked like serious. So, I hope for him. I hope they talk to the doctors. I hope that they get the answers, whether it be good or bad, that they need to make a good decision for, that Tua makes the right decision for him and his family, because, you hate to see the long-term effect of that. We've
Uh-huh.
seen it with, you know, I'm not sure you can say that it caused Muhammad Ali's Parkinson's, but I'm going to sit here and say that, you know, I'm not a doctor, but it seems like all of these drunk boxers, and just take a page from all of the athletes that have had to retire, or Antonio Brown, if you want an example of
CTE.
what can happen. Yeah, Junior Seau blowing his shit away. There's a laundry list that we could go into there, and you never want to see somebody that seems that well respected on the field and that young,
Yeah.
play through it, and then something like that be the end of his story down the road type deal. So, I just hope that, for Tua and like that whole organization, like his family especially, that they do it's right, and like take the time. I hope they don't rush him back if he makes the decision. I hope they like literally, you know, exhaust the efforts to come up with something that makes sense for everybody involved in that. And you hate to see it for the kid, man, because it's pretty young, like I said, pretty talented fellow there too down there, and
Well,
they got a pretty fun little offense going on there.
yeah, it was hard to see.
Yeah,
When you see it, and we as fans, we love to see the hard hits, and we like to see the booms and as the boomsticks as we call it, and sometimes, but when you see that, it gets scary.
yeah,
And then the reality of what football can be,
yeah.
you know, comes to light. But what are your thoughts on Caleb Williams?
First game, uh, he looked like a rookie quarterback. Uh,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, I want to say I kind of went back and watched a little bit of that game. Like I wanted to watch more than the highlights, so I actually kind of went back and found and watched quite a bit of that game. And he's working, and it's not excuses for him, but Adunse gets tweaks the knee a little bit. Keenan Allen was playing with a bad foot. They kind of took DeAndre Swift completely out of the game, or DeAndre Swift kind of took himself completely out of the game. As far as the Titans always have had, if nothing else, over the last 10 years, if you look back at the Titans' run defense through whoever coaches them and stuff, the Titans are just kind of known for having a pretty stout run defense. They handle DJ Moore pretty well. I don't know. Like you said, and like we were talking, it's only week one. I know all the talents there. He can make a lot of throws that a lot of NFL quarterbacks still can't make. Uh, he's weird as fuck in that kind of area. He reminds me of Aaron Rodgers so much.
very,
Like just
very.
everything about him is just odd. But
Aaron Rodgers makes it easy to cheer against him.
yeah, he's just a fucking weirdo.
You just
Like, I shouldn't say weirdo. I apologize. I'm going to behave today. He's unique. But
okay. We'll go with that.
yeah, Caleb Williams,
He's
I think,
different. He's like 2 Chainz. He's different.
yeah, exactly. I don't know how I feel about Caleb Williams. I want to see. It's good, I'm glad we do this, because I we'll have to strike this back up and see
Oh yeah,
week 7 or 8 where he's at. Especially in that division, because you're going to run into a Jordan Loveless, potentially Green Bay for a little while. You're going to run into Detroit. You might be running into the Vikings, as crazy as that sounds right now. So we'll kind of see. I like Jaden Daniels more right now as far as what's going on. Now, I think
yeah,
Jaden Daniels doesn't have near the weapons,
yeah.
and has what's going to help Caleb Williams is the Bears. If people sleep like week 1, I know, but if you, even last year, like back half of the season, if people sleep on the Bears defense, they shouldn't. That's a pretty scrappy young unit. They've got
It is.
some very solid defensive players,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're coming together and starting to really figure it out. Their secondary is really good. They're a disciplined young group. So I mean, Caleb Williams has that going for him. Jaden Daniels does not down to Commanderville. Their defense is absolutely fucking garbage trash. You and our two big asses probably go play for their defense. They're just dog shit.
Sign me up, coach.
Right, let's go. But I mean Jaden's I think he's gonna do exactly what he did at LSU. I don't think we're gonna see 350 and 4 tutties
Yeah.
anytime soon, but I think we're gonna get another slash quarterback there. Maybe not so much Lamar, but maybe right in there better than Justin Fields. Maybe somewhere, maybe like I think Jalen Hurts right now would be the number one person I'd compare him to. He's kind of got that tuck it and go. He's shifty, he's fast. He's got a nose for getting loose. He found the end
Yeah.
zone twice. Some of his passes didn't look that bad. I think that, right now I find him to be of the rookie quarterbacks that played. I thought he looked the best. The Bo Nix situation is, oh, Jesus Christ.
I think what's happening out there in Denver is they're hoping for another version of John Elway and
Yeah,
another version of
they need
Peyton Manning, and
they
they
need an
think
act of God.
Bo Nix is going to be the answer.
No, I think
I
Bo Nix is fixing to
if
run
you're
into
going to
some
be
teams
all
that's
in
gonna
on
be
the
bad.
kid,
Yeah,
if you're going to be all in on the kid, I'd say that you need a clean house.
yeah. I mean, you're running
You
back,
have to say, you're our franchise. We're going to build around you. We're going to stick with you no matter what, and go from there.
and he doesn't have a lot of playmakers around him. I mean, Jaleel McLaughlin and the other little running back, Javonte Williams, that's a solid, they're good. They're decent little running backs, but Cortland Sutton is Cortland Sutton, and they got that Greg Dolowich like tight end kid that's,
Mm-hmm.
if he's healthy, he's not bad, but I don't think, they're set up to be worth a shit anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the wrong division for that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like they're not in it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I think the Raiders will smack them upside the mouth.
Yeah.
The Chargers will fucking run it, again, run it down their throat without a problem. I don't even want to know what the Chiefs will do to them.
Well,
So
that out in 49er land, looks like CMC is.
yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. You just struck a chord for something. Let's talk about this. So
Uh,
fantasy football and me, I mean, it's no secret. Anybody knows me knows I'm a fantasy football guy. I love it very passionately.
and he is out again for this week.
Yeah, and in one of my big money leagues, decent money leagues, like it's an auction league, and it's with all my brother's older buddies, like all his buddies.
Uh-huh.
So I like to call it like my big brother's league.
Uh-huh.
And usually like when we did the snake draft and stuff, there was some strategy and stuff. And a few years ago, we went to the auction, and my older brother, and I set out, and then I came back. My brother still
Uh-huh.
hasn't because he hates it. And like I find it funny and comical because I tell myself I'm going to spend big money on players
Mm-hmm.
because there's not really any rhyme or reason to your strategy. You just kind of fucking wing it
Uh-huh.
and hope end up with the best team for $200. And this year, long story short, I told myself, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna spend money this year because every year I end up having like fucking $33 or $44 left, which is my teams aren't terrible, but the injury bug gets me. I usually
Mm-hmm.
don't have like a true number one receiver or quarterback. I'm usually
Yeah.
playing with some like lesser quarterbacks or some stuff. But as long as I knock somebody, the last couple of years, my thought process has been as long as I knock somebody out of the playoffs or piss somebody off in the process, like down the stretch, I'm okay with it. I spent a lot of money this year on CMC saying I'm going to do something different. And now I'm going to spend more money. Not that I bought him for, but I'm going to spend money with him being on my IR. And the guy I'm playing this week, because I was waiting all week to see if Jordan Mason, what they did with CMC before I put him on my IR. And of course, the guy I'm playing this week
Uh-huh.
picked up Jordan Mason. and now he's going to use him against me, which is always fun. So I'm a little salty with the 49ers and how they handled the whole thing. I think they just should have fucking put him on the goddamn, you know, IR to start the season because they fucking knew he was hurt anyway. Everyone,
Uh-huh.
it's clear as day now that it's all come to light. You know, they should have just done it out of the gate. But it's the NFL. They don't get, they don't give a shit about us little bastards sitting here fantasy footballing. But at the same time, Vegas, they give a shit about that. I'm sure
Well, they do.
they ruffled some
But
feathers with that handling. I'm sure.
I'm anxious to see how the season plays out. I still think in the end of the day, and of course we'll revisit this, I'm sure, later down the road. I think Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs, the Bills are going to be the Bills, Ravens are going to be your top three.
Yep.
Cincinnati in their top. I think Houston's going to be pretty good.
I thoroughly enjoy watching Houston play football right now.
They are young and talented,
Yep.
and they went out and spent some money.
And they are very fun to watch.
They NFC. I think it comes down to Philadelphia, San Francisco again. Of course, Cowboys always going to be in the mix, but that could be Dak, and
I truly think the Super Bowl, the NFC will be decided between the Lions and either the 49ers and the Eagles.
I pray to God that the Cowboys don't win the Super Bowl.
It's not happening.
God forbid, we will never ever hear the end of it on social.
The Cowboys are not. Yeah, the Cowboys
social
are not
media
winning
because of all these hard nosed
right.
Cowboy fans have been waiting and waiting and waiting. Just how it is.
I'm convinced that the Cowboys will not win a Super Bowl so long as, and I hate to say this, so long as Dak Prescott is the quarterback. They don't have a true number 2 receiver other than Brandon Cooks, which don't get me wrong. Brandon Cooks has been the most, underappreciated, consistent wide receiver for every fucking 13 teams he's been on. He's always been solid, but, I don't think he's the ticket. And when you're running the ball with 97-year-old Zeke, a.k.a. he's only 28, but he's got 97-year-old knees. Dalvin Cook is back in the mix, and then Rico Dwaddle or whatever however you say his name. I'm not sold. I never am. I think that and then Dak seems to forget how to play football about, 2 or 3 times a year. Dak's going to be Dak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dak will throw the ball to the other team.
Dak will be Dak.
Yep, he'll throw the ball to the other team too much, and I don't. But as long as we can say we them boys and we're making fun of them, and they actually can't start saying, "Hey, we them boys," because they're winning.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah,
and I hope Jamar Chase. By the way, as we close the NFL part out, I hope Jamar Chase breaks his fucking leg tomorrow, and compound fractures his fibula, and it goes up his ass.
Hey man,
respectfully.
I tell you what, they're like that salty ex-girlfriend.
Dude, yeah, they like
that. Hey, it's like you cheated on them, and they took you back.
Right.
She cheated on you, and you went ahead and dumped her, and you moved on to bigger and better things.
Right.
And then now they salty about it.
Exactly. And
like,
if you go you think of rivals, like teams that are rivals, we can take this back to softball, or anything. There's always like that. There's your rivals, you're competitive and you don't really like them, but it's not like that deep.
Yeah.
For the longest time, it was I felt like we were that way with the Bills. First it was the Bills, and we're like, okay, all right, you beat us in the regular season, and you guys are really good, and now you're going to mimic our offense, and that's cool and stuff. But then come the playoffs, you're like, okay, now you know who Daddy is. And I feel like it just kind of got squashed. Now it's Allen never said anything shitty. Mahomes and him respect each other. They're both good dudes. So it's hard I don't necessarily dislike Josh Allen or the Bills. So I can't really get passionate about it when they play each other, even though that was kind of the rivalry for a while.
Uh-huh.
And the Raiders, I have to remember they're the Raiders, so they're like that little chihuahua on your leg that like bites you once in a while and it hurts,
Oh yeah.
but then you just kick them off and remind them they're the Raiders.
Even though they still kind of nip at you, you
Yeah,
just keep kicking them away.
you're like
Yeah.
that's cute, but you're still the Raiders no matter what. But then there's the Bengals, and like they're that, like you said, that that salty ex girlfriend. Like that's a dislike. I don't like
Hey,
anything about the motherfucker.
they are like that salty ex girlfriend that will post all them things on social media. Post all the memes and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know how they,
well, yeah,
I'm
or they're
better
like
off.
that.
I'm better off without them, but yet they keep bringing them up, type thing. Or
Yeah, or like
I
you,
was I
if you
was
go,
too good for
or if you go drinking, like
them.
you're going to meet your buddies, and you're like
Yeah,
out somewhere, and your buddy calls you, and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna come meet up," and you don't mean to be like petty, but you're like, "Is that fucking one dude with you?"
there you
And they're
go.
like, "Yeah," and instantly you change your mind. You're like, "Nah, I don't. Never mind. Fuck that guy. No, no, because I want to punch him. I hate his face. Leave him home." It's just, yeah, that's the Bengals. Fuck everything about the Bengals. I
But
And even if they win tomorrow, fuck them anyway. They're still not going to win the playoffs. It don't matter.
here's what I love about football season. Um, college game days back on.
Yes.
I have something to look forward to. Is sort of now that baseball's over, so my Saturday mornings are from 8 to 11 Central Time. Is glued before the games start.
Yes.
College game day.
Yes.
Uh, it's sad to see the end of the road for Lee Corso. You see him uh, on the program.
Let's get a little
It,
squirrely.
but I'm actually, as much as I didn't like him because of who he coached, I'm actually starting to become a pretty big fan of Coach Saban and really kind of liking how he handles it next to Pat McAfee
I think that's the
on the
best,
show.
like, Harry and Marv or whatever you want to call it, fucking combination ever.
Yeah.
Like, when Pat McAfee's getting down to snap your fingers,
Yes.
and Saban's face just says everything.
I mean, he fed him a tomahawk steak this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what,
They're just a great combo because, like, I didn't realize how much I say like. It's funny, but just Saban's a genius, and
he
like,
is
and it's won
a mad
so
genius.
much. Like, it's just to pick his brain or listen to him up there. You're like, is there anybody that really knows any of this better or more than he does?
Here's
And then you put Pat up there, and Pat's a fucking squirrel, which is awesome. And that's just it's good television too, man. It's just a great
and
combination.
I think what was great about today is they were in Columbia, South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that Pat McAfee could find a way to say "cock" on air
Yo, of course you did. Of course
in
you did.
so many different ways,
Of course you did.
and and all that way. And what I love about Saban is I think he really holding back about his true feelings about Dion, even though he says he loves Dion.
Yeah, I think he really wants
I,
to say you're an idiot. Get your shit together right now.
yeah,
I love
but
me some Dion too, but right now that whole shit show.
hey, they 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 got a big game tonight.
Yeah,
And I actually took Colorado State.
I don't blame you
Uh,
one bit.
and I think after last year and the way Prime is, the boys in Prime are doing, it's
No,
not going to be a great one.
no.
Other than that, the other second reason why I love football season is I get my weekly reports from Annie Agar
Yeah.
and her classic skits that she does every week,
Mm-hmm.
and she is started off strong.
Yeah.
She started off strong this past week, and then when she gets into the college world and does her weekly skits there too, freaking love them. I
Fair.
freaking love them. She cracks me up.
That's fair. They're pretty good.
So, hey man, you got that. High school football has gotten going.
Yeah.
It's local high school around my way.
Yeah.
We're sitting 2-1 at the moment.
Yeah.
Blue Springs High School. Uh, it's crazy that high school football started, and my boy's first middle school game is next Tuesday.
Hell yes. He's ready.
So we're anxious about that. Old Grizzlies football takes the field.
All right. Let's
At
go.
4 p.m.
Gonna get it on.
Yeah, let's get it on.
Man, and that's football's great, man. Like I love, don't get me wrong, all baseball, we all know baseball is always gonna be my number one. And the playoff races are pretty good and I'm enjoying all that. But
Yeah.
football just kind of is like a breath of fresh air too when it starts because if you're a fall guy like me and like the colder weather, it's how it's the start of it. So Thursday night NFL football, and then we got Friday Night Lights,
Friday Night Lights,
Saturday, and then going to
college game
Sunday,
day.
and Sunday, and then even Monday night. So I love it. When we talk about our high school, I'm trying to, for our viewers, pick my words carefully here.
You're starting off rough.
Okay.
We'll just say that.
We are
starting off rough.
We are 0-3. The first two games, understandably, first two games are understandable that we lost. We played some pretty talented teams. Last night,
believe you take on Mid Buchanan, wasn't it?
East Buchanan.
Yeah.
We should have won. I'm gonna say that. I'm not sure what in the hell we were doing, but
not scored apparently.
Yeah, and how we were going about trying to score wasn't necessarily the best. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. Nothing about it was good. The boys are playing hard. I mean, at the same time, sometimes I question their commitment to it.
Yeah.
But I also question the powers that be's commitment to particulars and changing things up and why we play the same broken record sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's easy to sit and be on the side and observe and see it, but it's everyone can see it type deal. But they're getting better. There's a lot of improvement there. They've got they've got a lot of talent, man. It's not come together right yet. And I think the coaches are still trying to figure it out, all 13 of them.
Yeah.
I think right now, when you start out 0-3 and two of them are blowouts and one of them is like you should have won. The first two were more a matter of the talent we were playing and just execution. We lost the turnover battle really bad. And just foolish high school plays like too many false starts, too many penalties, too many turnovers, just shooting yourself in the foot a lot, and then just honestly playing bigger, better kids currently. Last night, on the other hand, we were the better team. Everything about what was going on should have went the other direction. We had some play calls that were bogus. For instance, I get trying to play it safe, but end of a quarter, you're pinned inside your own. Basically, you get a pick. You're on the 1 yard line, and for 3 plays straight, you run a wedge, try to sneak it up a little bit to get a yard or two.
Oh, wedge.
Yep, and then punt. You know, at that point, it's like if you're not going to have any faith in the boys and try to get them out of their run any kind of play at all.
Yeah.
I mean, why not just fucking punt on first down and get it over with? You know,
Well,
because it's
you know
tough.
that power wedge right and power wedge left.
Yep.
You know, to get you that 1 yard or 2 yards. Just
Yep. It'll take
that,
it'll get them every time, especially with our average 205-pound lineman
well,
trying to draw push that forward, and then into the game we're moving the ball down the field real well, kind of doing a hurry up offense and passing the ball pretty solid. Shout out to Cheddar, our backup quarterback. He played was pretty effective, ran the offense very well. For what they had him asked him to do was moving the ball. Then we had a fourth, and we were down a little bit. We needed a touchdown and a 2-point to win it. We could have
yeah,
tied it. Got down there, moved down the field, and then got a couple penalties, moved us back. We're about fourth and 15, somewhere in there. I really would have liked to seen him just say "fuck it, let's go for it" and try to take a shot in the end zone.
yeah.
But we only had 20 seconds left in a timeout. Instead, we went with the field goal and then tried the onside kick route, and unfortunately kicked it right to the kid. As the ball game, and then you could tell. I talked to some of the boys that I coached at base, like I've been coaching baseball over the years, and you could just see how discouraged they were. They were frustrated. I think the consensus was they wanted to go give it a shot and go down that way.
Well,
But
I tell you what, man, it's high school football's fun.
it is. It's
And I think small towns like yourselves, how they, it brings the community together.
yeah.
Ties the community together. I'll tell you what, I know up here we have 5A school, 6A school, 1A school,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just happening to surfing YouTube the other night, couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Came across some Texas high school football 6A games.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level. That's college football in high school.
Now, for those of you out there, listen, the very few, the understanding is we have 6A around here.
Not like that.
Now, 6A around here, let's just put this in the hypothetical terms. 6A around here would be comparable to, I'd say, the Big 12 in football.
Yeah.
Now, the 6A down in Texas.
Big Ten, the SEC.
Hold on. And even, I think they have 7A.
Yeah.
You're talking SEC.
Yeah, Big Ten, SEC.
Them boys are big.
Huge.
Fast, can run, can hit, and oh my God.
And the funny
That's
thing,
a different level.
is like 30% of them, only 30% of them are going to college or not committed yet.
Exactly. I kid you not. I saw a center that was lined up. This guy was 6'8" and easily 380 and was fleet of foot.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what California, Texas, Florida, Bama, man. All those.
It's a different level.
Yeah, that's just a whole different that's a different breed of football.
Yeah.
Like that's just insane. And then you just see their stadiums, man. Like anytime we've been traveling and you see one of their stadiums,
college.
Fuck, man, that looks like a college stadium. And you're like, no, it's their high school.
But man, flipping the switch, we're in September baseball.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's see. The art, well, we have the KC Royals.
Yeah.
They're kind of going here and there. They're still like 7-3 the last 10 games, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like they lost their shot when they were tied with the Indians in August.
Do you not think they could pull it out?
Yeah, I think they I think they can get in the playoffs, but they lost their shot at. They had a shot to win the division there in August when they were head to head with the Indians. They were tied for the
Yeah.
season, and then they went on that losing streak, and the Indians kind of thumped on us a little bit too. It just kind of let it slip away as far as that goes. But I mean, I still think they're if they get a wild card, they're talented. The bullpen's dog water.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think we can make a deep run with our bullpen.
Well,
They would have to get creative.
this is how we're ending the year. We won today.
Mm-hmm.
We got Pittsburgh tomorrow again.
Yep.
We got Detroit.
Yep.
We got the Giants.
Yep.
We got Washington and Atlanta to finish out the season.
Well, the Atlanta's not going to be fun. Washington, we ought to fucking
Well, Atlanta is not been playing good baseball.
no. But I mean, they're scrappy.
So they're only 2.5 games back.
Yep. They got a chance. I mean,
With well, my biggest one would be more Detroit.
yeah.
But they get Detroit at home. If they could take 2 or 3 from Detroit, if they finish out the season, I think they could possibly get that. I mean, Cleveland would have to start losing,
Yes, we need Cleveland to lose more than we need to win.
but that would also get them hot and moving into the playoffs.
I would take it, man. I would. I don't feel like they are. That bullpen is just not good.
But the thing is there's a lot of people out there. The Yankees don't have a great bullpen.
No.
A lot of these teams don't have a great bullpen.
No, there's not. You're right. There's not a lot of
pitching is struggling.
Yeah, it's not.
And that we say that. What have I said all year? There's a pitcher out there.
Right? Who broke every Mexican League record ever.
Who was down in El Mexico and walked away with a Mexican League championship.
Yeah. 19 strikeout game.
Hold on. In the regular season, we'll just go. Here's 2.48 ERA.
Yeah.
And 120 Ks.
Yeah.
When they got to the postseason, he had his ERA 1.6. 32 Ks.
That's nuts.
I've said it all season long. Free Trevor Bauer.
I mean,
Royals. Sign Trevor Bauer.
This would be the time, man.
You mean to tell me that there was not one team that's creeping into the playoffs that could not use this arm?
Right. Yeah.
Everybody right now, even that's going into the playoffs, is not. If Baltimore's arms are struggling.
Right.
Yankees, they don't have a bullpen either.
Nope. They just got 2 super freaks.
Royals, the bullpens. You mean to tell me you couldn't throw Bauer in as your third spot?
Right now, hell yeah. Because, I mean, you run that out there, after freaking Lugo and Reagans.
Cole Reagan, Seth Lugo, who have been in the top 10 in pitching all year.
Man, they're doing well.
And all you needed was a number 3. Royals, you messed up.
The funny thing is Trevor Bauer would be the number 1 on like 3/4 of the teams in the major leagues.
Yeah.
Like, when you be close.
Not even close.
I mean, when he got in trouble, he was a number 1. I mean, he wasn't because he was on the Dodgers, but any other team in baseball, most of the teams he would have been a number 1 anyway.
There's a big discussion brought up that I saw on social media. Should Shohei win the MVP even though he's not a position player?
I don't think anybody in the National League's given this year.
Yeah.
If Shohei goes 50-50, which he's probably going to do, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, who else, when you think of the National League, off the top of your head? Other than, I mean, and it's because he's on that team that it makes it difficult. Because you've also got Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
But they're still, in first place. They're still winning as many, if not more, games than anybody in baseball. So, I mean, when Mookie got hurt and Freddie Freeman had to go and take care of his boy and has had a good, like an average Freddie Freeman year, but not a great one.
Yeah.
And Mookie's been good, but not great.
Yeah.
And I mean, who's been the most important guy to that team?
Yeah.
And I mean, he's position or not, if the dude goes 50-50, and I mean, other than because when I think of the National League, who's the most important guy to your team? When you have a Mookie Betts and a Freddie Freeman, it's hard to, you can't just justify Shohei as easy, even though you can this year. I mean, Shohei is, without him, I don't know if they're, I mean, I still think they're in, obviously, because they did it without him before.
Mm-hmm.
But, they haven't done it with Mookie and Freddie Freeman missing time like this.
Yeah.
And you've got, and Gavin, is it Gavin Lux?
I think, yeah.
That's been pretty stepped up and been pretty clutch since he's, got going. But other than in the National League, I always think, and I could be forgetting somebody, but Harper is the only other person that I feel like a team runs like off of somebody, like all the time.
Uh-huh.
I feel like Harper has that motor, that engine that is the reason that, like, he'll always be in that he's always in that conversation.
Yeah.
In the American League, I mean, spin it, twist it, look at it any way you want to. Judge is having a ridiculous season.
He's cooling off.
But I will fucking fight with everybody that I have this conversation with to tell me that Bobby Witt is not the American League MVP. You have a guy in the lineup with Judge that's right behind him or in front of him, however they do the lineup. That it's in any other time, if Bobby Witt, you take Bobby Witt and Judge and they're not having the years they're having, then Juan Soto's winning the American League MVP award easily.
Yeah.
So, all due respect to Salvi, who in God's name are you scared to pitch to or pitch around or get to? Like, you're not pitching to Bobby Witt because you're taking your chances with everybody else.
Yeah.
You can't do that same thing with the Yankees. Judge is going to get shit to hit.
Well, I'm hoping it plays out. We get the Yankees and we knock them out of the playoffs.
I'd love it.
I'd absolutely love it.
I love it. Soto's going to get paid, by the way, next year. I don't know the number.
Oh, he's going to get paid.
I got a pretty good guess that it's going to get up there in the holy shit region.
I think Gene Parlo's gone.
He needs to be. They need to let the Markins stay up and just rake.
Hottest teams right now. Diamondbacks.
Of course.
The Mets.
Of course.
Surprising enough, San Diego's catching heat.
San Diego's, figuring it out. A lot of young kids on that team. It's about time the Mets figured out that they could play baseball. Gazillion-dollar payroll. It's about fucking time.
Finally.
I'm not shocked at all by the Diamondbacks. Young kids got nothing to lose again. Fuck it. I think what the head scratcher to me is somehow in the American League West, and I can't fucking wrap my head around how this happens, that Houston ends up in first place again. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck the Mariners and Rangers, what happens, but I just can't fathom how every year we get back to the exact same fucking. I mean, it's a testament to their players, but my God, man.
It's hard. It's hard to look because it's like Cleveland looks good.
Yeah.
Houston's playing good baseball.
Yeah.
I tell you what, all the hot teams right now seem to be in the NL.
Yeah. I mean,
Baltimore's playing strong ball. This is the type of year I like.
yeah. I mean, it could be anybody.
Fall baseball and football just starting up.
Yeah. And it, baseball, especially this year, kind of like last year, man. I feel like whoever gets hot rolling into the playoffs, like if they get hot right then, or if they get on a groove, then I think I really think that's all you're going to need. It's just going to be who can get going. Because it's hard to argue the Phillies, man. They've been the best team all year. But are they going to do what they did last year? Are they going to catch a thorn in their side again?
Yeah, Milwaukee.
I mean the Milwaukee. Yeah, I think Milwaukee's my surprise team.
Yeah.
Especially with Yelich, being done. I think I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But it's a testament to the Cardinals being shitty. Sorry, Robbie.
But with everything, it's officially we're turning the clock. It's now big boy season.
Yes, it is. Thank God, I'm ready.
I'm ready for pull out the hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to be in hoodies and shorts.
All the time.
That's it. All the time.
All the time.
Like, I got my little squad baseball team. We're doing once a week. Hey man, all you football coaches out there, all you baseball coaches out there, all basketball coach, any youth coach, let your kids be kids.
Right?
Enjoy the season.
Yeah.
I meet once a week. I'm not doing any tournaments, not doing any league. Get them together, let them get to know each other, get to know new. See what I got working with coming into next year.
Yeah.
Like a little off-season workout. Hey, if you got a game, you got to practice, go.
Yeah.
Coaches, quit making these things mandatory for kids. Let them be kids.
Ain't that serious? Fall.
Shit. Big boy season. I'm ready for it.
Me too.
I'll tell you what, here in Missouri, I'm tired I don't give a shit. It's 80 degrees. I'm tired of that too.
I'm done with it.
I want 62.
Yep.
55.
Yep. I'm ready.
That's it. I want give me 55 or 55 and 60.
I'm ready for that.
That's what I want.
It's a broom handle.
But man, I see it.
That old school.
Old school.
Oh yeah.
I had a rocket, man.
Yeah.
I went with it.
That's
Like
good
you
looking
see, it's got some gold like real good gold stitching in there.
Yeah.
And then the shield on back has a little gold.
Ooh.
And here's the thing, I had to collect. I tried to build up my NFL collection of hats.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with NFL hats. As you can tell, I'm a 5950 guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the bend. I like the flat little semi bend.
Oh yeah.
I'm not into these dad hats, man.
There's a lot of
football.
A lot of dad hats in the NFL.
Get some. And I'm tired of the cartoon looking logos.
Yeah, a lot of loud, obnoxious 1990s Zuba football hats going on.
And the cartoon logos.
Yeah.
And so, as you know, and I know, and here's the thing: you're a hat collector. I'm a hat collector.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to football hats, though, this is what's weird about football hats. I got a couple football hats that I do have. Now, they're not a Chiefs hat.
Yeah.
But just because I wear them doesn't mean I'm a fan of the team.
No.
It means I like. There's something about the logo I like. Yeah. Something about the color I like. There's something about just the how you say the classic old logos that I like. Just because I wear a Steelers hat or a Lions hat or I wear a Eagles hat or a Dolphins hat or a Buccaneers hat doesn't mean I'm a fan of those teams. It means I just collect hats. People don't understand.
No, they're always like, why do you have that hat on? I'm like,
And in Kansas City, if you wear a football hat that's not a Chiefs hat, oh, you're one of those fans.
Yeah.
And God damn it, and if I'm in Kansas City and God forbid I wear a Raiders hat and I'm Mexican,
I like to confuse them up. I'll throw on a Lions t-shirt and a Chiefs hat, or a Chiefs
there you
hat,
go.
or a Chiefs shirt and a Lions t-shirt, or a Lions hat and a t-shirt, and get them all. They're like,
Get
"What
them
the
all.
hell's going on here?" And I'm like, "You're
Yeah,
welcome."
yeah.
That's how we do it.
Hey, so listen, just because, just like people wear or collect shoes,
Yeah.
you could wear a whole bunch of New Balances. Don't mean you don't like Jordans.
Right. Dude, I'm that way. Like I wear nothing but New Balances because it's what my feet fit in, and they're the most comfortable. But
There you go.
if I could get me in some extra wide Air Max 97s in
There
about
you go.
every color known to man, yes, all of them.
Yeah.
It would be my very first pick, but that's not how that cookie crumbles.
Nope.
So I mean, it is what I also like. It's the same thing with like shirts. It don't even got to be like teams, man. You think about like there's a lot of brands I really enjoy that I would love to wear.
Yeah.
But they don't make fat man's clothes, and I'm not about to
No,
give
they
up
don't.
eating fucking steaks. So
Yeah.
there's a crosshairs here. Is I'm gonna wear the fat man clothes and keep eating the steaks. Just how
Exactly.
just how it's gonna be. I don't care how good looking the shirt is.
Well, with that, man, you have anything else?
No, man. I mean, hopefully we can get back on track.
Hey,
Life,
no
after
better
that
way
has
to
been,
start it though. Baseball was coming to an end.
yeah,
We took a little break, revving it back up. Football season.
yep. And now
That's how we do it.
next time we get going, I'll have some youth 7th grade volleyball to bring in. We'll have some new
I
football.
hey,
We'll have some young
I
man football.
I do have one thing to tell you.
Oh boy.
So I was on the Book of Faces,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a little soon to be 13-year-old seeing pictures,
Yeah.
and saw something you posted
Uh-huh.
of a little young cheerleader in your household.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was he like, "How you doing?" Yeah, she's a cutie. That one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a cutie. That one.
Who's that one? Hey man, why you looking behind my? Why you over my shoulder?
You tell him. You tell him. Of all three of them, she's probably the meanest, most fieriest, closest one to throw hands out of any of them.
Oh well, he's nothing but a softy teddy bear, so she wouldn't have done much anyway.
She ruled the roost there. Then she's a fiery little child.
Well, man, yeah, we'll go football season, so we'll definitely get back on track with this, man.
Yeah.
But then next time we report, we got some young football, more high school football, a little bit of volleyball. Hopefully we'll see how the baseball playoffs will play out.
Yeah.
But
other
than that, I'm out of here.
I do got one thing to add before we go.
Yeah.
For everyone out there, anytime you need a fine meal or you get hungry, remember, they say that dog and cat make a fine meal. So try it out. I hear there's many in the yards in your local neighborhoods.
Yeah. I hear the ones in Springfield, Ohio are pretty tasty.
Yeah. Watch out for the Haitians, the MS-13, and all of the local gangs in your small neighborhoods. They're coming out.
Watch out for them. Hey, all them ones that coming over and everything else, and protect your children
Yes.
from going to school and coming back home and them having that deadly surgery for a sex change.
Yes. Don't let them do it.
But we're not getting political on here.
Yeah.
We're not getting just making fun of what's been out there.
Exactly. Save the dog.
Out.